I do get to introduce Miss Jenn Myers to the Big Summit here. Great to see you. Love your color. Looks like you might have been hanging out with Amy because you look beautiful and bright. I love it. As Deb alluded, she is the co-founder of the 90 Day Divas, and I want to hear more about that for sure. She is a momager, and I know we're going to hear more about a momager. I'm like, did we make that word up? But I'm hearing it more and more, so I'm guessing no. She is the author of a best-selling book called Magnetic Abundance. Ooh, I like that, right? Today she's going to talk to us about rejection to riches. Ooh, we like that too. I got to tell you something about her. Her favorite birthday present ever. This girl likes speed, is what I can say. Her husband gifted her with a ride on a Ferrari on a racetrack. I love that. Boom. Today she's listening to Emerson Cole, and the song of choice is Medicine. And it says that that's your daughter's stage name. Is that your daughter's song?
Yes, it is.
That's awesome. And that's the momager, right? Got something great to tell us.
Woohoo! Thank you so much for that, Kathleen. What a great introduction. And I didn't just get to ride in the Ferrari, I got to drive the Ferrari around the racetrack. So what a blast that was. Oh my gosh.
Quite cool. How fast did you go?
I don't know, because we do kilometers per hour over here, so I don't know how to relate that down. So Jenn Bond, thank you so much for your talk, and I can relate to what you were saying about needing to make a choice, to do something different. I can so relate to that. I too lived in South Florida. I don't know where you were, but about 14 years ago, roughly, my husband and my daughter, the artist, and myself decided to do something terribly different, and we shifted to New Zealand, sight unseen. So now I live in New Zealand. That's where I'm dialing in from. And it has been the absolute best thing that we could have done at the time. So there you go. I am all for making a change, no matter what people think you should be doing, right? Look after yourself and do what's right for you. So today, team, every single one of us here is on some sort of a mission. We all have amazing things to share with the world. Products, services, it doesn't matter. My personal mission is to make a difference, a positive difference in the lives of 1 million people before I die. Now, if you're on board with me, that you've got an amazing mission, just drop a hell yes or a heck yes in the chat for me if that sounds like you, if that's a bit of you as well. Who is with me that's on a mission? Yes, hell yes. Love it. So how am I going to know when I reach that goal? I really have no idea, but this is part of it. So I hope you gained something from the talk that we're doing today. I'm really talking about looking after yourself in the way that you can bounce back quicker from rejection so that it doesn't hold you back in life or in business, so that you get better results. So, and really that mission for me is what helps me to stay resilient in the face of rejection and in the face of setbacks and questions from people. You know, why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense. Well, it helps me to make a positive impact. So I know I'm on mission. So keep putting one foot in front of the other. The 90 Day Divas, myself and my two business partners, have very similar missions. I know one of them's on the call today. So Carol, love you, appreciate you. And the other one happens to be traveling in Japan. So yeah, if she was not traveling, she'd be joining us. But yeah, that mission, that similar mission really keeps us going in our business. Now, I'm a John Maxwell certified leadership coach, and I've got a quick story for you. I was at one of their conferences in Orlando, Florida, just a few years ago before COVID. And there was one of the speakers from the main stage named Bonnie St. John. And she told an amazing story about resilience. Now, she has written a book with her husband called Micro Resilience. And if you haven't read it, I would recommend you read it. It's amazing. But the story she told, she's a Paralympian, a former Paralympian, and she's a skier. And she was telling the story of one of the Paralympics she participated in. She was in a medal run. She'd gone through a couple of trips down the hill, and they were getting to the last trip down the hill. She was in silver medal position at that point with one run to go. And everyone before her, including the person in gold medal position, had fallen in one particular spot on the course because it was the end of the day. It got icy. And she was thinking, oh, if I can make it down the hill without falling, I'm going to possibly slip into gold medal position. This would be great. Well, she does the run. She falls in the same spot as everyone else, and got back up as quickly as she could, got to the end of the hill, and the results were still the same. She was in silver medal position, and the person who was ahead of her stayed in gold. The difference between her finish and the gold medal finisher was microseconds, but it was really how much more quickly the gold medal winner got back up than she did. So the moral of that story is how fast we pick ourselves up from rejection, from setbacks, is going to determine our success. So everybody here knows what rejection feels like, don't we? I'm not ready right now. I decided to go with another provider. It's too expensive, and I don't think this is just a good time for me. And many, many other instances, I'm sure, that you could name of rejection, even in your personal life. If your friend, you invite your friend to the movies and they say, I don't really feel like going tonight. Or you've got a great idea for your next holiday destination and your partner says, oh, I don't want to go there. So we get all kinds of rejection. Often simply the thought of getting a rejection can freak us out, can't it? Studies have shown that getting rejected triggers the same neurological pathways in our brains as if we're in physical pain. Now, I never knew that, and I think that's fascinating. We're basically all hardwired from thousands of years of history to avoid pain. So it's really no wonder that we avoid picking up the phone or simply asking for an appointment, asking qualifying questions, asking for a sales relationship. But let's get real. At any given moment, only 7% of your prospective clients who are out there in your target market are ready and looking for what you're providing. 7%, that is a minuscule number. That means the other 93% need educating, need nurturing, and need to have you follow up with them, right? Follow up is so incredibly important, and they're going to tell you no the first time you meet them. So wrapping your head around that concept is vital. So let me share just a couple of statistics really quickly that frame up just how badly we need to keep going and getting back up if we're thinking about sales in our business. You ready for the first one? Around 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups or more. 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups. 48, almost half, 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect after the initial conversation. That blew my mind. You open you ring somebody up. Hey, it's Jennifer. I'd love to come out and share with you what I do. I think it could be, immensely helpful to you. And they hang up and I go, oh, okay, I'm moving on. That's crazy, right? But we do it. 44% of salespeople give up after just 1 follow-up. So they'll follow up once. They're probably terrified when they do it and they think, oh, okay, done now. 12% of salespeople make contact 3 times and then stop. So those numbers just keep getting smaller and smaller, don't they? The smaller percentage are those that hang in there and they're persistent. So knowing that the vast majority of prospects that we speak to are going to be no's, focus on what you can control, which is your activity. You can't control the outcome of any individual conversation, but you can control how many conversations you're initiating. That's the key. So what I'm going to share with you in the remainder of my time are, I'm going to dive into 2 strategies, but I'm going to cover quickly 12 strategies. So get your notes ready. And actually the ebook that you'll get after this has all of these strategies in place. So don't worry about taking notes. You'll get these if you sign up for the ebook. There are 12 strategies that the 90-Day Divas have identified that we share with our clients through our sales playbook and through our courses around how to pounce back quicker from a no when you get it in any part of your life. Because that no is most likely simply an objection, not a rejection, which means that simply that person needs a little bit more education. If someone pushes back on you when you're asking for a relationship or when you're explaining what it is you do, they simply need you to present it potentially in a different way. They might be confused. You might have missed something out. So often they just need education and follow up. And that's something that we're all happy to do, right? We're all educators. We're all coaches. We're all trainers. We all do something, many of us do, that educate our clients about why what we do might be a great fit for them. So it's an opportunity. That no really becomes an opportunity to do something we love. What a reframe, which is educate and share value. So we should welcome every no as an opportunity to do something we love. Are you getting what I'm laying down there? That's a really nice reframe around a no. So drop a yes in the chat for me really quickly, if that makes sense to you. Reframe that no into an opportunity to do something you love, which is train and educate. You're an advocate, right? You're an advocate for what you do. What you do helps people. It changes lives in some way or another, no matter what you do. Love that. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm going to briefly cover those 12 strategies. I'll dive into 2 of them. And here we go. Strategy number 1, reframe your perspective, just like we did 2 seconds ago. Instead of viewing rejection as personal failure, right? It isn't. It's a natural part of the sales process. We just said 93% of people are going to need educating and are probably going to say no. So wrap your head around that first. Strategy number 2, learn from every no. After every perceived rejection, take a minute to really think through it and reflect and analyze the real reason behind why they rejected you. And again, it's probably just come down to something that they don't understand. It's more likely an objection than a rejection. Strategy number 3, set realistic expectations. As I mentioned earlier, a really small percentage of people, 7%, are ready to talk to you. So set realistic expectations and keep that activity high. Start heaps of conversations. The more conversations you start, the more chance you're going to have of being successful. And strategy number 4, focus on what you can control, right? Which is what? How many conversations you initiate. Strategy number 5, build your resilience by engaging in activities that promote good mental health and physical health. Things like meditation, journaling, mindfulness practices, yoga, exercise, whatever those things are for you that keep you in that healthy mental space, do that, because that helps build your resilience muscles. Strategy number 6, diversify your approach. Experiment with different strategies. Now I'm going to dive into this one just a little bit. Those old methods of picking up the phone, knocking on doors, shuffling out the cards at a networking meeting, which nobody does anymore, right? That hustle mentality, hustle. Cold calling and door knocking can work, but ultimately those are old methods. Get creative, right? Think outside the square instead of being the person that carries the, forgive the gun example, but the person who carries the shotgun to the event going, woo, I hope I'm going to get something by spraying, out the shot. Instead of doing that, become a sniper and be really selective with who you initiate those conversations with. So learning how to, become a sniper, identifying your ideal target. Who is the perfect person who could really benefit from what I do the most and who I can serve to the fullest extent of my ability. And the world's your oyster here, right? We have so many tools that we can use. People sell successfully through chat, messenger chat, website chat. We can run events. We can be interviewed on podcasts or TV shows. We can sell through newsletters. We can sell through each other's networks, right? Other people's networks. Brilliant strategy by creating strategic alliances. And when we talked at the beginning, I think of before I joined on, before Jenn, we were talking about collaboration, right? Working together. There is no such thing as competition in my world. It is, how can we support each other? What can we do to help get the word out about what we're all doing? Because I said in the very beginning, we're all doing amazing stuff. All right. The moral of the story here, get creative, One size does not fit all. Strategy number 7, celebrate small wins. Take a minute after every no to be thankful that you've narrowed the field. And of course, take a moment to celebrate every step forward. Strategy number 8, develop a strong support system. Right here in this room, right here on this call, and in this room, and in this group that we're all a part of, there are women who would happily support you if you just ask. You won't receive if you don't ask. So community is very important to success. That's a part of what we do with the Divas, is we create a community around all of our clients to support what they're doing. Strategy number 9, seek feedback. Here's another one I'm going to dive into for a minute. Actively request constructive feedback from peers, mentors, clients, other people you trust about a few key things in your sales process. Number 1, how you explain what it is you do without waffling or stumbling. Number 2, the types of questions you ask your prospects every time you get in front of them to see if they're a good fit. And looking at who your target market is. Who is that ideal client for you, right? So, and ask them feedback about how you address objections gracefully. How do you close? Find out what they think about how you're moving the conversation forward to seal the deal. Are you letting people off the hook, going, oh, that's okay, you can think about it for a while, I'll get back in touch with you, and then we're scared to follow up? Do you confidently say, would you like me to help you with that? That's ideal, right? Or do you talk yourself out of a sale? Do you keep talking and gloss over the clues that people give you? There are several clues you can listen for in a conversation that people will give you that will indicate to you that they are ready to move your relationship forward. Okay, take the feedback and practice. Every conversation with a prospect is simply an opportunity to practice. Nobody's going to die. The building isn't going to burn down if somebody says no, or if you mess up your elevator pitch. So let go of needing a certain outcome, because people can sense needy, and needy is creepy. I want you to write that one down. Needy is creepy. Strategy number 10, continuous learning. Stay up to date on industry trends, product knowledge, and sales techniques, because when you're confident about everything you do inside and out, you're going to feel more confident, you're going to be more successful, and confidence is attractive. Confidence is attractive. Write that one down. Needy is creepy and confident is attractive. Strategy 11, practice resilient communication. Develop skills that help you navigate and address objections gracefully and diplomatically. And finally, strategy number 12, stay persistent. Do the thing. Keep reaching out. It may never get particularly easy, but I promise it will get easier. And the more consistent you are, the more confident you're going to get, and it's going to lead to you experiencing more success and making a bigger impact.
That was amazing. Deb, I know you're biting at the bit because, you know, our performance coach here, Top Performance, those were amazing tips. Thank you. I loved it.
Good. Yeah. Oh, no, every time I have an opportunity to sit with Jenn, and I got to meet one of her fellow divas yesterday on the show, there's just so much efficiency, but you can tell that there's so much experience behind what it is that she's saying. No one can sit there and go, you know, needy is creepy. If you haven't worked with women and worked them through that phase of becoming more competent and confident in what they say and how to refrain and posture and poise themselves, which I think is very important. So I'm very excited. I love your title. First of all, perfection, you know, perfection to riches, is because we are all somewhere in that process, right? And even when you nail kind of one thing down, I think I'm a big believer of hiring experts that can tweak you instead of spending all this time to try to figure that out and what it looks like.